What up, my good peoples? Hey, y'all. Welcome to another episode of the Convicted to Grow podcast. I'm your girl, Coach Tressa, speaker, growth strategist, and all the amazing things. But listen, it ain't about me. It's about you coming in to this show, being inspired, being encouraged, and hopefully you'll leave here with some tangible inspiration from me or my guests that you can walk away feeling convicted to grow. So, hey,
Good morning.
y'all, real quick before I introduce y'all to the next guest. It's so funny. I had on a pink shirt and I was drinking my coffee in literally 3 minutes. I said, oh, I got to change. I come back down, y'all, with this on, right? I come back down. And I'm laughing at her. She said, oh, you look good. I said, girl, I feel naked. So I ran back upstairs. I feel, ooh. Anyway, my next guest, let me introduce her. Wow, where do I start? She is a mother of two, entrepreneur, real estate investor, and the founder and CEO of Fernandez Place Supportive Living, a supportive shared home housing model for veterans and adults 55 and older seeking stability, independence, and a place to call home. Her journey to entrepreneurship is deeply personal. Having experienced foster care, housing instability, homelessness as a young woman, she knows firsthand what it means to live without the security of a place that truly feels like home. Years later, the experience became part of the foundation of the Fernandez Place Supportive Living, and her larger vision is really creating community-rooted homes centered on dignity, stability, and peace. So, y'all gonna hear more about her, but help me welcome none other than Miss Rocky B. Hey, Rocky!
Good morning, Mr. Coach Tressa. We're here.
Oh, God. Yes, we are here, y'all. And yeah, you might see me every now and then because I was like, ooh, I feel a little, ooh, okay. Listen, shout out to those who are in the chat. Shout out to you guys. We got Mr. Ramsey in the chat, Miss Lady Elect Ashley, Miss I Am Auntie Reed, and we got Miss Dancing on Pink Clouds. Yes. So listen, how y'all feeling in the chat? While we warm up a little bit, get our coffee right. How are you guys feeling on a scale from 1 to 10? How are you feeling? Doo-doo-doo. How you feeling, Miss Rocky?
I feel blessed. I'm here. I'm here. It's for me to be here. Oh Lord. I climbed out the mud, crawled out of there, went through obstacles, but here I am.
Yes. And so y'all, today, y'all know y'all been following me in the season 2, right? And with season 2, we've talked about rediscovering who we are, the power of awareness, rebuilding after life setbacks, the cost of growth. And last week, falling in love with the process. And so today we want to talk about giving yourself permission. Giving yourself permission. And here's the thing about giving yourself permission. We're going to cover a little bit today. So get your notebook. If something we say that resonate with you, please make sure you write it down. Also, please feel free to share, like, subscribe to the channel. We appreciate you. But we're going to talk about giving ourselves permission. Rocky, you want to go ahead and start? Like when you think of the word permission, what does that mean to you? And y'all put in the chat. Okay, we got who else? We got we up, we at it, we live. Yes, I love it. I love it. Uh-oh, you on mute. You on mute. That's what happens when we live, y'all. Uh-oh, let me get you off. Hold on, let me get you off. There we go. Yep, nope, I still can't hear you. It's a little thing, it's a little microphone.
Can you hear me now?
Yep, there you go.
I don't know what happened there. Okay, so permission. For me has been to breathe, confident, allow myself to heal. It has been like the
Yo, she's over there multitasking. That's okay. You got the dog. You got the son. Y'all put some flowers in the chat for her. Put some flowers in the chat. Because listen, it takes skill to multitask, right? It really do. You know, the kids are still out of school, but give her some flowers, y'all. Because you still showing up. Come on.
And I have been preparing. I'm not a person that like, okay, if you do this, I'm gonna give you this. I even did that this morning. I said, if you give me just 1 hour, I will do this. I will order you whatever it is that you wanted. We'll go, mama. Not even 5 minutes into this, mama. But I'm gonna tell you, in my world, this is what you're gonna get. This is what you're going to get. Like, I have cups and I have no. I'm using the hospital to drink my water. This is it. I'm giving myself permission to be present, to accept the things that I cannot change, and to allow God to work in me. That is what I'm giving myself permission. Like in reality, like permission to allow God to lead and to not just to lead, but to accept the things that He already instilled in us even before we were born. So, yes.
Listen, I love it. I love it. And the first thing that I wanted to talk about was giving yourself permission to be. And you talked about that a little bit because here's the thing. Who are you beyond your title, right? We all have worked hard for every title that we've had, right? Coach, speaker, dad, brothers. I mean, we have titles, right? But who are you beyond the titles? And so when I think of permission to be, it's like give yourself permission just to be you. Give yourself permission just to be you and be unapologetically you. For me, Rocky, that's what I'm learning in this. Is like just be myself. As you can see, and I love the fact that because I used to be in a season one time at a point in my time where I had to prove, and perform. Like, see me, and I'm working hard. And at the end of the day, listen, I gotta just be me. I gotta be me, and that's like Persephone said in the first episode of season 2, the power of awareness, becoming aware of okay, this is where I'm at. Now, where do I want to go next? So that permission to be for me is really truly just being my authentic self, unapologetically. I don't know, but yes, Ashley said yes. She said Come on. Hey, Miss Priscilla. You want to add to that, Rocky?
I do, because I used to feel that I needed the titles was my identity. Like the titles what made me, gave me permission to be. Yes, I am a mom. I am a founder or CEO. That is, those are titles. But once those disappear, you're like, I still stood in the past wondering, well, who am I? So, and that was most of my life. That was, like, the more I did, right? I believe that if I worked hard enough, if I accomplished enough, if I carried enough, eventually I would feel worthy. And then I realized that I if I achieved, um if I made my achievement my identity, then it would always I would always be in that race, right? Because we set one goal and then that goal is finished, then what? Then you're left with that same feeling like, okay, I'm not enough, I gotta do something else, so it's those are not those are not not reasons, right, to for us to or at least for me to give myself that permission to feel like I'm enough. But over the last few years, I have to say that God has been teaching me totally something different. That my identity isn't something I build. It was something that I received before the accomplishments. I know now who I am, who Rocky is, and I I'm a I'm a woman I love deeply. I build with intention. My faith is my foundation. I laugh easily. Like, even it just um I don't know. I do believe that, like, everyone deserves um to know they are worthy, their dignity, their love, having someone to make room for them. So I know for me, for a long time, I thought that valued came from identity, but it really doesn't, because you're still left questions empty. um I built Fernandez place, and that gave me the purpose, but it gave me my I gave myself, right, that my purpose in life is to live. I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah, it's allowing yourself to really, for me, is knowing that worthy, that came from God. Like, that was already in us even before the world got a hold of us.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Um, you said something. Well, Ashley was saying, she said, if you're not being you, you're an imposter. That is
Mhm.
so true. It really is. So many of us have been caught up with the being something that we're not because we've allowed society or the way we was raised or the environment we were in, right? Relationships. I talked to someone a while back, and they were like, "Listen, I've only been in one relationship. All I know is to be the mom and be the wife and to stay at home. That's all I know, right?" And then now they're like, "Oh my God, I don't even know who I am." It's kind of like you can't lose yourself, you know. But that whole giving yourself permission to be, Ashley said, be free. Like, be free. Like, y'all, when you, matter of fact, I challenge you. I want you to put on a piece of paper what you get. I need you to write yourself a permission slip, giving yourself permission to whatever it is, giving yourself permission and fill it out. And I want you to fill it out, sign it, and date it. Because once you get a permission, giving yourself permission, now you got to be committed to that thing, right? I would say the next one would be giving yourself permission to begin, whether you starting from the beginning, or you starting from lived experience. So often as times we've, like, prime example, I'll use me for example with the whole entrepreneurship journey. This thing with entrepreneurship ain't easy. It ain't. It's a lot. And I've been able to start, had failed experiences in the past, and I started again. But this time I started with lived experiences. Some of you right now been looking to start, whatever that start looks like. Maybe you're trying to start a nonprofit. Maybe you're trying to start your business again. Maybe you like, man, I'm what you waiting on? What is it that you're waiting on right now that's keeping you and holding you from beginning that thing, starting that thing? I tell you, if it's tugging on you every day, it's time to start. It's time to start. And when you're starting, like I said, even for those who got to do it over again, look at it. You're starting from lived experiences. You're starting from wisdom. You want to touch base on that?
So yeah, um, I, even just being in a podcast, it's me giving myself permission to be imperfect, be nervous, right? Because nervous and excitement still have the same feeling internally. It's just what you're naming it.
Yeah.
Um, you know, like I said, I giving my giving permission for me to say yes, yes. Where for me, the most comfortable thing for me was saying no. And begin. So, I will say I'm gonna touch a little bit on building. I built Fernandez place, and that wasn't the hardest. I thought it was the hardest thing I've ever done, but in reality, for me, is allowing me to see allowing people to see me for me, right? Because for a very long time, right, it's hiding, rather it's people hiding behind the camera, behind the scenes. That is where I was more comfortable with. It's just, you know, hiding, right? Allowing, because when we're put in the forefront is the exposure, right? The feeling of vulnerability. Um, if you can't see me, then you can't reject me. And even when I was seen, I would hide behind my hair. You know, I avoided people. The cameras, you couldn't get me to do anything to do with camera. I was always behind the scene. The background, that's my thing. I observe. That is where I am at, like my comfort blanket, right? I convinced myself that this mission mattered more rather than people who knew who I was. Like everything else mattered but me. And so like I said, I setting things to the side and realizing that like I was rejecting myself by me not allowing me to begin to just take that step again. My faith played a lot in how I am seeing life today. But being a leader doesn't work, like it's not. And you guys forgive me for me, like I said, this is I am working through the nerves in real life. In real life. So building something, it's one thing, right? That's the mission. But what my understanding today is that that's one thing, but people connect with the vision. Like people connect with you more than they do. They respect, they understand, like, it's something that, I get it today, but behind the story, who am I? Nobody really knows, So it's a connection, that human connection, and at the end of the day, that is what brings us to, again, the beginning. Um, YouTube. That's something. YouTube, being on a live, being on a podcast, just filming, taking pictures and putting it out there for the world to see, right? I have been the hardest on myself than anyone else. So it's not about being criticized, it's about how you see yourself. So that has been the beginning for me. Um just even just talking about the YouTube, right? YouTube. I recorded. I have been delaying that for years. And I've had support. I've had the support. So it's not like you're out there by yourself. Like, I can genuinely tell you, I've had support behind me, people that have seen me before I saw myself the way I see myself today. You get what I'm saying? So I wasn't lacking the support. Today, I can honestly say that I have a handful of people that genuinely wants to see me grow, like see me where I'm at today and even further. So, and that's helpful, but it's how you feel. It's how if I stayed in that cocoon, I'm always going to be in that cocoon. So it doesn't matter like what ability I have or what gift I have or what support I have. It's me taking that step.
Yes.
So just giving, you know every uncomfortable step, making the next one easier. Nothing magical is gonna happen overnight, because like I said, I didn't get to you today overnight. Like, it's been one step at a time for me,
Mm-hmm.
and it's working through the that feeling inside, right? Because even in the back of my head, I said to her, no, it's just me and her. I don't even want to look at the chat. I'm like, it's me and her, right? So, I know that other, I'm allowing opportunities to come. I'm allowing doors to open that have been open. It's just me walking through it. So
Yes. And listen, first of all, like I'm seeing this, I'm witnessing this growth live time, right? Like, and she said, "Yo," she said, "It's gonna be me and you. It's it. Like, it's gonna be me and you. It ain't gonna be nobody else." I'm not looking at the chat. Like, literally, we prayed. We prayed before we got on, and I was like, "No, we're gonna be good." I said, even for me, I still get a little nervous or whatever. But I love seeing you be transparent with your growth. So many of people are looking for the right moment, the right time. And I'm gonna tell you right now, let me this with my little jacket. But listen, I've said this before. Stop waiting for perfect conditions before you launch, before you leap, before you execute. Stop waiting for perfect conditions. Like, start it. Started afraid, started scared. Here's the thing: if you're a believer, I truly believe that when you have vision, God provides the provision behind it. Like you said, it took courage to come out here and start your YouTube channel, right? It took courage to come out here, like coming in front of the camera. That's different. Shout out to everybody who in the front of the camera and have to show up. Show up for the brand, show up for your business, show up for the line of work that you do. Like, yeah. And so I wanted to share what Auntie Reese said. She said, give yourself permission to have grace for yourself. I know we didn't add that in there, but that grace, like, it's
grace.
gonna be so important that you take care of you. It's so important that the same grace, the same thing that you give to others, give it to yourself. We can be our biggest, hardest critics because that's just who we are. But I've learned over the seasons that I've been in, I don't focus on what I don't have. I'm so grateful for what I do have, but I'm excited for more, if that makes sense. So yeah, let's see what the chat
And I
talking
want
about. You want to add?
to, yeah. So you mentioned perfect, right? A lot to do, to be honest, right? My upbringing, right? I felt growing up, I had to do everything perfect. I had to be perfect, right? And perfect, by definition, in my world was that I had to be perfect for others. And if I wasn't perfect for others, then therefore I am not perfect, right? So
Mm-hmm.
we start, we make agreements that we don't even realize that we made agreement with things that are so negative towards us, and our views become that. And so being on camera, you watch YouTube, you watch this, and you see people and they're so perfect. And I'm like, how? I see myself, I'm like, oh my God, no, but it's true. I know and I recognize today that because I felt that I had to be perfect to get on the camera, I had to speak, like have my thoughts together, and I do until that thing I see it red and it's recording, and I'm like, all of a sudden it's like, oh, I'm like, wait, I started off saying here, but I'm here now. But it's just taking, for me, it's hitting that record. I'm gonna be honest. If you look at my first YouTube, right? There's nothing perfect about it. And the second wasn't any better, but I did it anyway. I gave myself permission to
Yes.
be imperfect, because in reality, we are imperfect. We are perfect, imperfect. And I think that gives us our like a quirkiness. It gives us, we're different. We're all human, but we're so different. Our features,
Yeah.
we might have similarities, but we're so different. And for me, it's like I'm having more fun being recognizing that I am not perfect and I don't have to do things perfectly. If there's giving myself that opportunity to grow into it, right? I started with my YouTube, right? If you go, it's like, okay, I'm not comparing to someone else who's been in the industry for a very long time. And even if
Yeah.
that's not the case, it's just recognizing that our standards sometimes are what beyond, because we are um basically comparing to other people. It's just get it started, just press play. And if I have I'm gonna be honest, if you go on my camera, I have a lot of recording. I never hit play. Never. Why is that? Because I have feared allowed fear to basically run the show. And
Mm-hmm.
when God started running the show, things have been different, because I am showing up different, but I'm feeling different. It's just like the confidence start. You just generally, when you
Yeah.
do give yourself permission, I feel it, and there's feeling that I still good feelings, but I don't know how to identify like what it is I'm feeling yet. So yeah, just being, just showing up. It's just showing up as you. Like we show up everywhere else. When we walk in the room, someone said, when you walk in the room, Rocky, your face is the first thing that people see, nothing else. It's the same thing when you're showing up in camera, but that hits different today. That hits different today. And I think that being able to speak about things,
Mm-hmm.
being honest with people, like I didn't just walk in here and, hey, how you doing? And this is still imperfect, right? Because it's just, like I said, like I mentioned, like I'm still, you can't see my heart, but I could feel everything inside. And Kobe Bryant said it best, that stood with me, was like, whether you're feeling nervous or excited, it's still the feelings are still the same. It's just what we label it. And so for me, I choose to use more on the positive side to change how my nervous system, functions and reacts to things, and also my mind. So just having that different perspective, like whatever it is that you're feeling, I feel that just changing that does make a difference.
Yeah, yeah. And you said when you walk in a room, they notice you. Here's the thing, your aura too. I think your aura, your when you are confident in who you are, when you are, I mean, like when you really secure and confident in who you are. I always say this: your best fragrance is your confidence. I don't. You can have the 300 baccarat, whatever you want to call it. Listen, your best fragrance is confidence, because there's something about being confident of who you are and whose you are. That when you walk in that room, your aura, your energy, like for real. Have you ever been in a room and people somebody's energy was off? You was like, I can't even. Mm-mm.
You
It,
could definitely feel it.
listen, that's why I'm so careful in who I attach, associate, attract myself to. Because this right here, this is the gift. We are the gift. Matter of fact, put that in the chat. We are the gift. You are the gift, right? And so that whole showing up for yourself, showing and you said something about that whole just hitting record and like I look at my video, I ain't like the videos I did 3 years ago, ain't nowhere near it. But I used to strive for, oh my gosh, I can't do a video today. My eyebrows ain't done, or I can't do the video today because my edges ain't came. Girl, bye. They don't look. It's about the message. Like I don't know about you, but have you ever had a video you did and you didn't post it because you was like, "Dang, I messed up." Child, listen, the videos that I've messed up on that I've led to post anyway got a lot of engagement from it. Just they don't care, like, but that's why I said, let me stop looking at my replay because I'm so, oh my gosh, I could have did this. Oh my God. No, listen, I'm gonna be me. I'm gonna be me unapologetically me. That part. So yes, they said we are the gift. We are the gift. Yes, yes.
You
Um,
also give others like I feel permission in some ways. Like my first video, my thought I didn't have any plans on recording. My daughter did my makeup. She's 9, by the way, just so you get a whole visual. I I it looked better on camera, but in person, I said, the camera did justice. I look crazy, okay? Yet I'm like, you know what? I'm okay being imperfect, and I'm okay. I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna show up because here it is. This is what you're gonna get. This is what you're gonna. Because realistically, I can show up perfect in on camera, but then in reality, is that really realistic? I may know the truth, but I also know that there's someone else on the other side
mhm.
that's just like me, that felt just like me, and realize like they can connect because of the fact that like giving them the same permission, like, hey, I gave myself permission to show up here looking with a 9-year old makeup. Why not them? Because I'm not any different than anyone else. But yeah, just the permission thing is really big. I think that that's really underestimated. We need permission to go to the bathroom when you're in school. Even you need permission to when you're at work to do anything. Give yourself permission to live the way God intended it to be. Like really. And I'm telling you, it's like I'm so passionate about it today because it feels really genuinely, it just feels so good. Because for so long, I always feel like, and I think I wrote about that, like I've been in prison for 40 plus years, right? And I don't mean like I got locked up and went to prison in the sense that in the worst way. Because at least when you're in prison, it's because you was put there. I put myself in prison for so long. I put myself in prison that I did not allow myself or or feel that I was worthy or permission to do absolutely nothing because something good came my way. There was no way, right? I was locked up in a room with a door that was wide open, but I did not allow myself or give myself permission to walk out of it. So to be here, to be able to say that, and knowing that, like, okay, I always pray that like the right message will get to the right person, and it may not take action today, but believe me, words that are said, they don't those are seeds that are planted,
Yeah.
because seeds that have been planted to me from others, and that is not me, that's all God's doing. So permission to allow yourself to begin, and just permission to
Yeah.
live. the way we are intended to be is like the biggest flex. It really is.
Come on. Yes. Do you feel like when you get as you get older, it's like less you tolerate? I don't know. Ever since I turned 48, shout out, hold on. If you 40, if you in your 40 and up, if the 40 and up club, put some ones in the chat. If you
Gen
40,
X. I'm gonna tell you, you do. But you know what was amplified for me? I think as I gotten older, right, and to allow myself to be how God intended it to be, is my voice. My voice. I can totally understand why elderlies, when you know elderlies, they're like there's no filters for elderlies. Like they're gonna tell you how it is. They do not like care about your feelings respectfully. But I respect it. I welcome it, truly, because I feel like you can still say what you need to say and be
yeah.
respectful, and just be respectful. But truly, as I gotten older, yes, and I'm gonna be honest, confident, but not just that. My voice, like building the strength and building that I do and my voice matters, that has been the game changer completely. And that has allowed me not just to like speak up for me, but also like my kids, like being a mom, really shaped that.
Mhm.
Because I would advocate for everyone else. The only person I've really never really in the past advocated for me. Advocated for everyone else. But I wouldn't
Mhm.
advocate it. Even when people would disrespect for or speak down to me or like, just mistreated me. Knowing that it was wrong, knowing that I could have a full conversation or full blown say something to you, but it would never translate it out of my mouth. And I will tell you that this past year has been I've used my voice. There's two things I always feel. You can use your voice for positive or negative. Voice, it is a weapon. And I saw that it is a weapon. Your choice on how you want to handle your voice. You could either use it as a destructively or as a foundation or as somebody that you can uplift, right? Be For me, I choose to use my voice in a way where I would have wanted somebody to advocate for me as my younger self, and now being a mom, like I don't want them to be mistreated. Allow them, where they have the full control of like, hey, you know, I don't like how you're speaking to me, hey, certain things. So yeah, I think that
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
what.
The older you get, the less you tolerate. Cause I used to think like, why the old lady on the block, why she the meanest? She done lit, she done seen, she done seen something, you be like, they're just stuck in their ways. But I'm learning that the older I get, one more I'm discovering me. Like I'm a whole vibe. For real, for real. That's why I protect this at all costs. But it just I just don't tolerate certain things no more. Like my appetite is different. See, that's another thing. I'm gonna go there. I'm gonna go there. When your appetite is different, see, when you are hungry for something, whatever that looks like, right? Maybe it's the job, maybe it's the visibility, whatever you trying to go after, whatever goal that is. When you're hungry for something, as you continue to evolve and grow, I truly believe your appetite changes. Like seriously, your appetite. Like I don't eat the same foods. Literally, I don't eat the same foods. Prime example, turn it into the life stuff. There are certain things that won't disrupt my peace. There are certain things that won't disrupt my peace anymore. So yes, she said I'm 57. Let's talk. She said I'm fit. Listen, come on. And you know what I want to say too, Rocky? You mentioned something about your voice. Now I know I usually tell people how I've met people on the show. There's always some connection for guests that come on the show. Um, I met Rocky. Has it been 2 years? 3 years? It's been about
Two.
2 years.
Yeah.
It's been about 2 years. So I met Rocky in another community, actually the Lions Behavior community. Shout out to Coach Nick
Oh.
Saunders. Okay, we love you. We love you. But I met her in another community, and I used to see her, and it's crazy. That's why they say don't judge a book by its cover. Okay, because I used to be like, oh my God, she's so nice, and she has this little voice, and it was so soothing. And when she would talk, it would just be, I'm like, oh my God. I said, I think I'm loud then when I talk. So then she came to our 21 day confident woman challenge. You were supposed to do it last year, but for whatever reason, it didn't happen. Oh well, that was last year. But this year, she said, "Hey, I want to do the 21 day confident woman challenge." And I looked at it, I said, "Okay, like okay." I didn't think anything. Didn't even. I'm like, she's so quiet, right, y'all? When I tell you, after them 21 days, and I'll let you talk about that, but after them 21 days, when I say she had the most for the second cohort, you had the most transformation from the challenge. The most. She was becoming her. Like when I say if y'all only knew and saw her what we got to see in the community, I'm talking about from the dancing to acting out to Rocky, you surprised me. I ain't gonna even lie. You surprised me with that challenge. And then what I loved about you is first of all, you're coachable. I don't even know who needs to hear that. Okay. But let me tell you something. Even a coach needs a coach. I'm coachable. And why I'm saying that, if you want to get somewhere in life and you want to accelerate it, get you a coach, get you a mentor. Otherwise, trying to figure out this thing by yourself is going to take you longer to get there. But the fact that I say you're coachable because you took what I gave you, you applied it. And then when you went over to Nick in the Lions behavior, like when I tell you, when I see you speak on those Thrive Thursday calls in her community, I be getting so happy and smiling because I was like, oh my gosh, to see you like, it's me, Rocky B. But you did. You really showed up like every single day. Because here's the thing about a challenge. A lot of people don't finish challenges. I'm not talking about just my challenge. Just in life, there's a lot of people who don't finish challenges because life gets in the way. You're not committed to it. You don't allot time for it, or you just not that serious in any challenge you given, right? But you was intentional. You was intentional about it. You showed up every single day. You dropped a daily exercise, and the fact that you acted it out, that's why I was like, oh, this is what we doing. And then you like our most top engager in the community. So yes, that part, they said you a powerful woman, Rocky.
Thank you.
How do you feel about that? I didn't mean to put you on the spot with that. I had to let them know how we met because that's literally how we met, from another community. And you was like, I want to do the challenge.
So yeah, that actually feels good because the people around you will see your growth. And I always feel like the community is part of any community that I'm part of, and I've been with the community for a long time, that becomes an extension of family, right? Because you meet people in that group, people that are very, supportive of you. And I know last year, like the time, like I messed up on the time on myself, but I'll be honest, it's not by coincidence that I didn't the things didn't align the first time around, because I wasn't I realized today I wasn't ready. Because why? Because I still had myself on those limitations, right? I
Yeah.
was not allowing me to fully be who I'm supposed to be, just allow myself to grow. So the challenge would have been different. It was meant for me to do it this time around, because my mindset, also recognizing that I I needed to do this for me, not for no one else, but I needed to do this for me. So that 21 day challenge, what it did for me was 21 days. And I've been on this earth obviously way longer than that. But it took that challenge, right? To fully challenge me, to fully challenge me. Not what I do, not as a mom, as me.
Yeah.
And this time I when I tell you I will do something, I'm gonna do it. You know, the camera thing, that was new, but nonetheless I knew that that was part of the challenge, and I wasn't gonna go back on my word. You know, so in the end I was gonna let myself down, you know. So, and I refused. I just, that wasn't part of it. So every day that challenge, I showed up on camera. I did it scared, nervous, whatever you want to call it. I showed up anyway. You know, like I said, my kids in the background know it. I still showed up. There wasn't a perfect opportunity. You know, I showed up. And the one that stuck out to me the most, because I felt like that was really truly where my exhale, my moment of true growth, like I literally came out of the cocoon and it was just like, this is Rocky. The one that I danced to, is a K-pop, oh, what's that song? Um, it'll come to me, but it was, I did it. I wasn't re-recording. It was like take one, take final. That was it. It was just like, you're gonna get this, and that's what it is, right? I sang, I danced.
Yeah.
It's something about going up. I'm not hiding. I'm not. I can't recall, but I'll remember it. Nonetheless, that was, and I still go back, right? Because just because I'm in this path of growth, it doesn't mean that. Remember, the devil's always hard working. He's working every day. He works harder than all of us, especially when you start getting closer to your faith. I'm
Yep.
telling you, the attacks, like the stuff that comes from me, is like tenfold. But nonetheless, those voices start sneaking in, like letting you know, hey, you know, trying to reel me back in. And the beauty of it all is that I had, the noise is all gone. Like the only voice I want to hear is God, and that is it. And
Yeah.
so going back to do the work, reading what I wrote, seeing my videos isn't like me living in the past, is me watching my growth, a reminder of my growth. And that how the beauty of it is like, you know, that was good for that season, but I'm heading in a better place. So those 21 day challenge, I'm telling you, the women in the community, it wasn't just me. I always advocate, you do that 21 day challenge, like people need to sign up, like truly.
No, I mean, all of you guys were amazing to see just that transformation. To see, because here's the thing about the 21 days. They say it takes 21 days to either break a habit or form something new. Well, I feel like it just takes 21 days just to really true. Like when I went on my little detox journey and trying to do the whole working out and stuff like that, I felt like 21 days was finally like an aha awareness moment. Like I get it, right? 30 days, I got, ooh, I feel it myself. 60 days. I feel like, here's the thing. You want to challenge yourself, give yourself 3 months, give yourself 90 days. Go off the grid for 90 days and work on you. Work on you. No distractions. Maybe those 90 days you ain't taking no trips. Maybe you ain't doing no spending. Any spending you putting back in yourself or in your business. Like 90 days. I'm telling you, give yourself 3 months out of the year. I swear it would never be the same. It would, like she just said she was in prison. Like not the physical prison, but prison in her own mind, her own thoughts. She had to free herself to become herself. Listen, that was where you got, look, you were sentenced. She was convicted, y'all.
I
She was convicted to growing, okay?
imagine that, being in a room because you have put yourself there, and having a door wide open, and yet you won't even walk through it. I went from that to like, oh no, you're not sticking me in there no more. Like,
Yeah.
you know, it's just, it's just perfect. And then convicted to grow. It's for me to be on a podcast and the name of it is convicted to grow. It's not by chance. I'm telling you, it's not by chance.
Girl, listen, he's not an author of confusion. Listen, yes, yes, Ashley. Ashley said, free yourself to be yourself. What's that song? What's that song about? What's that song about? I don't know if it's the same words, but what's the song about Fantasia? I don't think that's the same lyrics though. We're trying to get to, right? Don't she got a song called "Free Yourself"?
I thought that was
Hold on.
the group back in the days.
Go ahead and free yourself.
Oh, I
Wait a
thought it
minute.
was
I think she's
free your
telling about a
mind,
relationship. Wait a minute. That ain't right, is it?
free your mind, and the rest will follow. No,
Wait a
oh
minute.
no,
Hold on.
that's
We on two different songs. You talking about In Vogue.
In Vogue.
I'm talking about go ahead and free yourself. But I think she was talking to a dude, right? I think she. Oh, you thinking about In Vogue? You got the proper. You got the yeah. You got the proper song for it. The one I was thinking about. You don't want to talk to me at Home Depot? Go ahead and free yourself.
Aisle 4.
Did you go to aisle four? Did you go to aisle four?
Aisle 4. All I found was a cleanup. Spill on aisle 4.
Listen. Listen, yes, I was there. I was it was so funny. Y'all I ain't gonna even to go through it today. Y'all gotta catch last week's episode with Priscilla. It was an inside joke with being at Home Depot. Home Depot, we doing a Home Depot tour. Yes, that part. She said, no, that's Fantasia. That's love. Oh, well, dang. Okay, if you don't want me, if you don't want me, then don't talk to me. Go ahead. Oh, yeah, no, that's not the one we want. But listen, y'all, we talked about today giving yourself permission to be, giving yourself permission to begin, giving yourself permission to build, whether you building an actual business or you building yourself within, like confidence. You just heard Rocky talk about what she had to do to build. But I also say give yourself permission to become. Like, here's the thing about becoming. Becoming doesn't mean you've arrived. It just means that, hey, you are evolving. Growth. Y'all see them plants back there? Growth is a daily thing. Oh, I think that's who's that. Is it the sound over there? Growth is a daily thing. Daily, daily, daily. Listen, y'all remember this plant? It's gonna stick with us for the season. I don't even know. Look, Rocky. This is the journey.
You see mine behind there?
Girl, Hope is not gonna make it. Hope, y'all. Priscilla said I keep cutting leaves off of that, keep dying. Listen, I'm thinking. Listen, y'all. I'm literally thinking maybe this plant don't supposed to be here. Maybe got some bad juju. Maybe got some bad energy with it. I don't know, because all them other plants are thriving, and this is the only plant that's just. And y'all told me to name her Hope. Well, I hope she make it to the end of August. Like, yeah, I don't know what we doing. I don't know what we doing. And hope, well, hope, but but anyway, um, but the permission to become. So, given where you at right now, what would you say for the remainder of this year? What are you giving yourself permission to become doing?
So I don't think I'm becoming somebody new.
Mm-mm.
Like I think I'm just returning into the woman fear interrupted. Um, a woman God knew before insecurity introduced itself. Um, a woman who doesn't refuse humility or hiding. Humility with hiding. Lord. Um, and then two, shrinking doesn't honor God. So for me, I'm becoming somebody who trusts God more than I trust fear. Um, so yeah, staying small and staying quiet until until I'm ready. No. That that isn't who I'm becoming, or like at all. Like that's not even in my vocabulary. Faith sounds very different. It, the vocabulary changes, the way I feel changes. So becoming, I'm stepping forward. I'm speaking. You know, I'm gonna continue to build, um, be seen, and be okay to be seen. Feel good about being seen. Like, you know, and doing so, uh, while I'm still growing, still being on, and I'm sure there's moments that of uncertainties, but just knowing that God is like, He's just, I know that He has me. So becoming feels good. It feels good. Um, realizing too that courage is how could I say? I realize that courage isn't the absence of fear. So I don't know if that makes sense, but it.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, like
Mhm.
you said,
And
this,
then those deciding too that my voice have the final say. Like it's not, you know.
yeah, yeah. Well, listen, for this to be your, I know you've done other podcasts, but like this is the first one with the new look. Like, see, y'all, she didn't found her. I met her, but when I met her, Rocky had hair. She didn't came and found. It's the shortcut for me.
That. So it's funny you said that.
Let me see.
My braid, it's braided up.
That's your hair.
So yeah,
How much you want to? How much you? I need to get. Cause I'm going to get a new sew in. Is that eight? How many inches is that? Is that 18 or 20 inches?
I have no idea, but I'm gonna tell you a little story about that.
I need
I
some
had,
bundle.
I had, which again, one of those things I didn't share, but I had back surgery, mid back surgery, so I'm still recovering from that. And so if I'm a little stiff, that's where that stiffness comes. But don't worry, dancing on video, that's coming soon. Well, not soon. Soon as I'm healed. Nonetheless, the hair, right? Talk about becoming. This is why, again, things that we do in life is a reason. There's a reason behind everything, good, bad, or indifferent. I just sat here, coming out of surgery, not expecting the recovery to be this intense physically, right? But while I'm recovering physically, I'm also recovering from a lot of things that starting to surface. Meaning, like, okay, how boom, in a blink of an eye, I walked out into a hospital believing and still believing that I was gonna walk out of there after a surgery, being under that I was gonna walk out as long as you got me out of here on time to pick up my kids so that I can, I took a week off from work. I'm not realizing the severity of what it is I was doing. Nonetheless, I was in the hospital for like a week. Um, I was walking with a walker, like, so it was a lot of like physical stuff, needing assistance
Oh, look at the
to
dog.
get me through the day to day. To make to make this short, how the hair situation, I was feeling heavy, right? And while I was feeling good, now all this started like popping in, and I'm feeling heavy. I feel like restricted again. I feel like I want to do things that the day to day, and I'm not even able to. My kids were taking care, and I got young kids. They were taking care of me. Nonetheless, I sat in a. I told my daughter, I'm like, I I needed cleansing. I just needed. I want to cut my hair. I want to cut my hair. Is what I kept saying. My daughter was doing my hair, by the way. So my hair was braided on two sides. On each side, I had my son and my daughter on each side. They both cut my hair. And while you wondering why you have hair, so for me, it's like a reminder again, right? When you go back to those videos, it's a reminder of what you used to be and how the transformation. For my hair, it's like it goes back to being identity. I identify myself with my hair. I love my curly hair, so um removing those things. was liberating for me. When I heard that first snip, it was more of like an exhale. Like I just felt I was breathing. Like I felt light. I felt like I needed that. Right? Hair will always grow back. I can shave it off today and be okay with that today. You know, I started with telling you I would hide behind my hair. If I had my hair loose, it was like I had curls, but I made sure it was like you wouldn't really see me. You had to like my hair was
You
the
had to
forefront.
swoop. You had the little swoop.
So that comforted me. I don't have that to hide. Like
Right.
it's here, right? So I am showing up as me. So my hair situation, like I said, it was part of like who I identify. At the end of the day, when you lose your titles, who are you? And it goes back to the beginning. Who are you? And so for me, I can tell you that I stand here today saying that I know who I am and I know who I'm becoming and I know the woman that God has always intended me to be. So it always go back to him and it always go back to the beginning.
And
So
she gonna be Rocky B in the place to
yes.
be.
Yes.
Well, listen, this has definitely have been a morning, and I'm so glad you said yes. I'm so glad you decided to do it. Break out your fear. I just know, we connected now. So um let's see. Anything, let me see. Let me see if I can comment. Thank y'all. Listen, thank y'all for showing up. Like, we appreciate y'all. Like, right? You don't have to be here, but the fact that you're here listening, and even for my replay game, when you come back and replay, just know I appreciate the support. I appreciate you being in this journey with me and every guest that you see come along the way. This thing ain't easy, right? Hell, life ain't even easy, but when you know who you are and you're giving yourself permission to be free, to be you, like, man, when you can break those chains off, like removing the break, I mean, just them years of trying to be, be to everybody else, but to you. Like, when you start rediscovering who you are and loving who you are and what God has put in you, a new thing. Because here's the thing, if you're intentional about growth, you would never be the same you were 12 months ago. You might have endured some things. You might be like, well, no, I went through a lot. But I guarantee you, you're more wiser now. You're more resilient now, right? So, yeah, she said freedom, 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 freedom. Thank you. They said, thank you, Rocky, for sharing your story. Um, yes, real freedom is everything. And so, last question. I think you already touched a little bit on this, but in this season of your life, what does convicted to grow mean to you?
Um so to me, being convicted to grow means becoming more committed to God, who is calling me to be more than I am attached to who I've always been, which, I did touch on that. Growth isn't always about learning something new. Sometimes it's grieving the version of yourself,
Mm-hmm.
which is hurtful. It is genuinely grieving a loss of a loved one. That's what it feels like. But nonetheless, survive the best. Once you do that, you're basically surviving the best version of me. So it's also releasing identities that once protected me to, just to, and knowing who am I today without all my accomplishments. And I don't even share my accomplishments, but internally, that's what my, I would identify myself with. And allowing yourself to become visible before you even feel ready. Because that's what I'm doing now. Is showing up. Even if I don't feel ready, but I'm ready. I'm ready to for whatever. And
You ready?
obeying. It's obeying too. Obeying you that you feel qualified. Some might feel like, oh, she's not qualified. I am qualified. I'm qualified. Like I don't need, you said I'm not the pick waiting for somebody to pick me. Pick yourself, and that's You said that to me. You said that to me. I took it and ran. I took it and ran. Like, I'm not waiting to be picked. I'm raising my hands and I'm gonna speak. I'm not waiting for you to tell me, permission or tell me to do something. I'm gonna do it. Regardless how I feel, I'm gonna do it. So
Yeah.
just having that, and just you know, every season of my life has required me to let go of something.
Mhm.
Fear, professionalism, the need to have all the answers, the need to be understood by everyone. You know, every time I release something that no longer serves God, purpose for my life, He entrusts me with something greater, like proven every day.
Yes.
So yeah, I've learned the growth that isn't becoming someone new, someone else. It's just becoming who truly underneath me. So
Okay. And
yeah.
listen, y'all make sure y'all go pick her up. She has a YouTube channel. She just started her YouTube channel. So listen, I told her, I said, fall in love with the journey. Like you just getting started. Like fall in love with the journey and to see you revamping the page. Even her she just said, let me show y'all these new pics with my short hair. Make sure y'all also pick her up on IG at simply Rocky B underscore. At simply Rocky B underscore. And listen, I'm looking so forward to seeing what this year gets birth from you, the creativity, the gifts that you have, like seeing and witnessing where you're at, where you used to be and where you at now. Oh my gosh. I think Persephone mentioned earlier with the butterfly and the transformation. Like that is true. I'm seeing you transform live time. And when you come back, when you do come back, because you'll be back, but when you come back, I want people to see even the growth. Because my season one guests are when I see them in my timeline, I'm like, oh my gosh, they have grown so much. And it just amazes me to see people winning. That's what I love. I love. So, mic drop, 2 minutes or less. 2 minutes or less, so we can head on. Mic drop. What's your last final word? One more thing that you want to let the viewers and the listeners and the replay gang know. Any encouraging words?
I was gonna say if one woman, but I feel like it isn't just women, because men too. So if whoever's watching or listening, right, keep the woman or man, the person who keeps waiting until you're confident, waiting until you feel qualified, waiting until you share, not share, but waiting until you have everything figured out. To those of you who feels that way, your calling isn't just waiting for the future version of you. It's waiting for the version of you that's willing to take one faithful step today. God has never asked me to have the whole plan, right? He asked me to just trust in him with the next step. Take it. Take that one step. And he has a way of meeting us in motion. And I'm telling you, I am proof for that. Like, and we didn't even go deep into my history, but trust and believe. Like, just that one step. Whether you're scared, nervous, whatever it is, just take it. Just take it. That's gonna lead you to the next step. Just yeah.
Okay. She said, just listen. Well, listen. She said, we ain't even getting to a story. Go ahead and put that on your YouTube, girl. Give people a reason to follow you. Go ahead and share the journey on your YouTube. So I'm just looking forward to seeing, and I'm so glad we connected. I'm so glad we've come into connection and we've had our talks and I'm just happy. I'm really am proud of you. I want to publicly say that. I'm so proud of your growth, your journey, and what the next looks like. And I can't wait to be and see a part of what God takes you to next. Um, so with that being said, y'all know how we do life. Life like, oh, let me get up for the benediction. Hold on, we gotta get up. Look, I get up. Listen. Life is a journey. Life is priceless, and to some, life is short. But while you here on God's green earth, you recognize who you are. Recognize that you have the potential to win. Recognize that you have the potential to grow. Give yourself permission today. I challenge you. Write a permission slip to yourself. What is that one thing you're giving yourself permission to do before 2026 leave here? All right. We only got less than 5 months, really, before 2027. There is still time. There's still time to make an impact. There's still in time to create and produce on the level that you know you are capable of doing. Don't cheat on the gift. Don't cheat on the calling. And as I always say, the best is yet to come. All right, Rocky, let's dance it out. Hey, how you
Say,
feeling?
I will dance it out, but I still have this my back. But
Oh, what's right? Oh, my bad, my bad. Oh, that's right. Well, just do this. Hey, that's how we shoulderly.
yeah, I will say to for people to stay tuned because there is more. There's a lot more coming. And put that on God.
Yes. All right, y'all. We see y'all next week. Love y'all.